Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, we are doing my June money diaries. If you're new to my channel or you're new to this series, I basically look back on the previous budget that we set for the previous month and we look ahead and set our budgets for the upcoming month ahead. So if you're into that, then just keep on watching. And if you're new, hi, my name is Raisa. I am 32 years old. I just had my birthday actually a couple days ago. So I am a Gemini. Just for context, I have a 9-to-5 job. I also have a small business that I run and I post at least once a week here on YouTube. And I make content about all of those different things. So if you're into that, make sure you're subscribed down below. I'm like not a fan of that. So the last video I posted was about my engagement. I feel like that is like the biggest news on my channel right now. So if you haven't seen that, I will have that over here. I also mentioned that I just came back from maybe a 10-day vacation in Europe. So a lot of my expenses were from that Europe trip. And I'm also spending the first 2 weeks of June here in Toronto, Mississauga specifically, with my family. So I'm going to be working from here. So my budget's going to be a little bit everywhere. So bear with me. I feel like every time I go on these little vacations or just visit back home, it's kind of like, I don't know, my budget isn't as polished as it usually is if I'm just in Vancouver. So I have maybe 30 minutes to film because I have to head out, but I think I'm not going to do the screen recording. I'm just going to show you all of my numbers. We'll talk about my income, savings, investments, and obviously my expenses, and then we'll plan for June together. So as always, I've got my trusty laptop with me. I do use a budget tracker. If you're new here, I have the budget tracker from The Line, which is my company. So I'll have that link down below. And I also have a 10% off for my YouTube family. So you can put Raisa 10 if you guys want to get this budget tracker. It's seriously such a game changer. It made me so aware of where all of my money is going. And I started this about 4 years ago. And I just feel like I owe a lot to this budget tracker because it's gotten me to a place in my finances that I never would have been if I didn't start tracking my expenses. So if you're on that sort of trajectory of like you want to get your money and finances in order, get a budget tracker and just start tracking. I promise you it is life-changing. So we've got it over here. It always has a like start here. So if you're new to budgeting, you can read through that. And it's very, very intuitive. So, and you can also just email me if you guys have any questions. But let's go over what happened in May. Still a little bit sick, so please bear with me. Whenever I'm on vacation, I feel like it's really hard to keep track of your budget. And for the most part, I think I did pretty okay, but a lot of it is like automated as well, which is nice, but just remembering to do your budgeting while you're on vacation. It's not the vibe, right? Like you want to be blissfully ignorant of your finances when you're on vacation because it's kind of like anything goes, at least that's for me. But it's really important to just keep an eye out and see where your money is going throughout the month. Got all of our numbers inputted in here now. So for my income for the month of May, it was my typical 2 paychecks from my corporate job for a total of $6,121.64. And then the other source of income that I have is YouTube or Google AdSense. So that's just ads that play on my YouTube videos. That is $152.37. So my total income for the month of May is $6,274.01. And then how that kind of got divvied up throughout the month. So I always put down $100 every single paycheck for my emergency fund. So that was a total of $200. I don't have any sinking funds right now or anything I'm really saving up for. So that's really all that went into savings for this month. And then next we get into my investment. So this is automated. This is $300 every single paycheck. So that was a total of $600 for the month of May. And then where it gets really juicy is my expenses. So first of all, we'll talk about my bill payments. These are just recurring payments that I have to pay every single month. These are kind of like my living expenses. So think of rent, subscriptions, parking, storage unit, like those types of expenses. That totaled up to $2,668.60. And where it gets really juicy is everything that I spent in May. So I mentioned this in my previous video. I'll have it linked here when I budgeted for this month. I was only spending half of my time in Vancouver, so I kind of cut down my groceries and my dining out basically in half, and I increased my vacation spending. So everything here for the most part looks really good. I didn't go over any of my dining out or groceries. We also had a wedding that we needed a gift for, so we did put down money for that, which was budgeted for. Actually, I remembered to put money for that. That was perfect. My gifts budget was basically right on target, just under $200. So I've got shopping. I'm not exactly sure. This is not my vacation shopping. This is probably shopping before the trip because I did lump shopping into a separate bucket, which I called Paris and Spain shopping, just so that I know. Let's double check what this is. Oh, right. I got a pair of earrings, which, I mean, I went over my $0 budget, but I bought a pair of earrings. It's not these, but they're kind of like a silver drop earrings. I got them from Gravity Pope in Vancouver, but they're Lié Studios. They are this like sterling silver, very beautiful earrings. I'm actually wearing them in my previous video. That was a lot of money. It was $222.88. I knew I wanted to get these because they were a very elevated pair of earrings. I feel like my everyday earrings are just silver hoop, but I wanted something that can still be used every day. Like it's not a one-time wear, but I just wanted them to be a little bit more elevated. So I was eyeing these and finally bit the bullet because I knew I could wear them on vacation. So no regrets. And after that is when all the Paris and Spain stuff happened. So we did prepay a lot. We paid for all of our hotels and our flights already, like prior to May. But there were a lot of, I'm not going to call them unexpected, but there were a lot of expenses that I didn't, think about really. So we'll go over them. As a whole though, my Paris and Spain vacation, I budgeted $2,000. This is like stuff, this isn't like, there's two different things I should say. So there's Paris and Spain vacation and then there's Paris and Spain shopping. I did a sinking fund basically. So I had $1,000 to play with, just guilt-free spending money for myself. And the Paris and Spain vacation, that's like food, Ubers, all of those things. So I did go over slightly. I budgeted $2,000 and I went over by $158, which is totally okay. And the primary reason for like the majority of what we paid for is really like luggage storage when we are still waiting for a flight or we just arrived, but we aren't able to check in just yet. So there was a luggage drop off that we did. We also took a ton of Ubers in Paris and Spain. I didn't necessarily expect that because the last couple times that I was there, we did a lot of walking and that's like where you get most of your steps in. But because my partner's parents have very, very limited mobility, we actually couldn't walk as much or as far. So we took a ton of Ubers. I want to say the Uber total was like $500, which wasn't something that I expected. So that's part of the reason why I'm a little bit over, but it was, I guess, like budgeted for. And then the main thing that I bought for myself, which I haven't done the unboxing yet, but I will later this week, I bought myself a bag. I was thinking of getting myself a bag in Spain specifically because I wanted to get something from Loewe. And if you know, Loewe is from Spain and just it's a lot cheaper there, obviously. So I did purchase something from there and I also got my tax refund. I got it really quickly. I'm filming this not even a week after we came back from vacation and the tax refund is already in my bank account, which is incredible. I saved about $290 and the bag was 1,500 euros. So that was amazing. So for my Paris and Spain shopping, I did have $1,000 on hand, but the bag was $2,404 and I got back $295 as I mentioned. So I basically was over by $1,200, which was fine because I think I'm going to take that from just other accounts that I have. The other thing that I did in May was buy myself this watch. And you guys are probably like, where is this money coming from? I did get a bonus from my company. And if you guys have watched my channel before or keeping up with me, the bonus, I had it just like sitting in an account that I called the Cartier Panther account or just a Cartier watch account. And I knew I wanted to get this watch for my birthday and for other reasons. If you guys watched the unboxing, you know why I bought it. But I did spend money on this watch prior to me going to Europe. So there was a lot of spending. I budgeted $5,488, which is the exact amount that the watch is because I am crazy and I did some math on that. But that's what I bought with my bonus. And I'm really happy that I did that because the prices have increased. And honestly, this watch, if you guys are thinking about it, go get it. It's the perfect watch and it like complements all my other accessories so well. So no regrets. And yeah, it was a very pricey month. I will let you guys know the final total for how much I spent. So the budgeted amount was $9,443 and the total was $10,918. So I was over just under $1,500 for the month of May, which is my birthday month and time when I usually go to Europe or take a vacation. So I know it's a really spendy month, but it was all intentional and budgeted for and all of that stuff, so I don't feel too bad about it. Everything has been paid for already and kind of like pre-thought about, so I'm not like carrying debt on my credit cards or anything like that. But yeah, it was a very big month of spending, but I have no regrets. And now we get into June. I like don't even know where to start with June. As I mentioned, we are going to be here in Toronto at my parents' place for the next 2 weeks. I will be working from here, so I'm not like on vacation or anything. In terms of my income, I'm expecting the same 2 paychecks from my corporate job. For YouTube, I am excited because I actually feel like I'm going to hit my expected $200 amount because for some reason my luxury bag, like the ones that I sold video, is doing really well, and I've just had a couple videos do really well. So I'm projected to make more than $200, which is incredible, and I'm so thankful. So my projected income for this month is $5,600. And then I'm a creature of habit, so all of my savings and investments will be the same. They are automated, so I don't even have to think about them, but every single paycheck, $100 goes out to go to my emergency fund. So that's a total of $200 into my savings. And then for my investments, I have the same thing, but it's $300. I did up that, and I would hope to increase that in the future, but for now I'm putting down $300 every paycheck for a total of $600 for the month of June. I do have the same bill payments. I don't think anything has changed. So my total for my bill payments for June is $2,743.60. And then lastly, my expense summary. I have been eating very well here because everything's like homemade Filipino food. Shout out to my parents. So I haven't been really like going out or really doing any groceries. So that's really nice, and I'm really thankful for that. I think I'm gonna copy my grocery and dining out budget, so it'll just be for when we go back to Vancouver. Although I feel like I'm gonna do a couple dinners with my friends here. So maybe I'll do dining out to $300, coffee's at $30, Cypher, who's my cat, is $50, dining out we'll do $300, gifts, ooh, it's Father's Day and my mom's birthday, so maybe I'll do $300 for my gifts budget. And then groceries, I think I'll do $150 when we go back. Nothing for home, I don't think. Lunch is when I go out for lunch at my corporate job, so I'll keep that at $25. Personal care, oh my god, I want to get my hair cut. You know that trend of like when your hair isn't bobbing, like you just need to get it cut. It's gotten very long, so I need this to be cut as soon as I land. That's usually $50, which is an amazing price. And then I also want to get, this is gonna be funny, but I want to remove the color on my nails. If you guys watch my engagement video, you would know why. Just I'm more natural nail girly than color, and I did this for a wedding and I mean the engagement because I feel like people are going to be like, let's see it, but I already want to get them removed, so maybe that'll be like $50. So I think $100 for personal care is good. Shopping, I'm not planning on doing any shopping because we just had a very expensive month, and I think that's pretty much it. I'm not foreseeing anything else. I have a lower budget for the month of June, which is $1,205, which is a stark difference from what we just talked about in May. And that is okay because I need to save up some money. But yeah, that is my budget for the month of June. If you guys are curious about wedding planning and all of that stuff, I think that's going to be later and to come. I haven't even wrapped my head around that and what that would look like and like my thoughts around it. So yeah, keep an eye out for that because right now I feel like it's been like a week since this happened. So I haven't really thought about wedding planning or anything like that, but more to come for sure. And yeah, if you've made it this far, I just want to say a huge thank you. Hope you guys have a wonderful day and I'll see you in my next one. Bye.